Hi guys, my name is James Ryan and I'm here to tell you about what the heck is going on in my Minecraft. Oh man. So as for Railcraft, talking about the carts, we have a tank cart. If you have like liquid mods installed and like with Forge and stuff, you can carry liquids around in your tank carts. There's chest carts as per usual. There's like large chest carts. There's still like motorized carts and stuff. There's actually there's oh yeah, there's like energy carts. If you've got Industrial Craft 2 installed, you can move your Industrial Craft 2 energy around in carts. You can uh, there's like chunk loading carts. I don't think there's an ender chest cart, but that's fine. Um there's a lot more to the mod. Yeah, you have to like. The thing is though that it does make creating rails a lot harder. With its blast furnace and creosote ore, but you know what? That's cool with me. Building things is fun. More red power. With all this red power, I think it would be time to tell you what it's about. Red power basically originally it was called integrated redstone, and there's a very good reason for this. It's because it basically took all the complexity of having, redstone's pretty simple. It's got like redstone, it's got redstone torches which act as inverters, and originally that was about it. Later on they added repeaters as a shortcut for, the old-fashioned repeaters which were just, you know, um, double inverters lined up so that, so that you could relay the signal, or B, lengthen the amount of time it would take. Uh, Now they've added a few more quartz things, and that does stuff that this red power stuff didn't. But Minecraft is an interesting way of doing things, and I think Mojang has done a really good way of sticking with that theme that I just can't pin down. But it's a really cool theme. It's quite different from how these technical mods go about things, but I like them both. For Minecraft, it seems more like a fantasy mythical world or something. But since then, Red Power's moved on and now adds a whole bunch of cool item sorting machines. The pneumatic tubes work really well. They act quite differently from the Buildcraft tubes, but they do work the same way, as in terms of basic functionality and how they move items around. That's basically the point. But how they work and what stuff you can do with them does differ a bit, and stuff and how you go around working with them also differs. So yeah. Sneaky pipes. I don't know what that. I know it's got something to do with having pipes that you can access from any that you can make. You can right click on so that they access items from a different side than what they're actually pointed on. So it's good for compact stuff. But apart from that, no. Steve's Carts is a cool cart mod. In the latest version of Steve's Carts, all of the carts are modular. So there's like this cart building machine which you can use, and you can put modules on it, and they can't overcome a certain weight, similar to the new modular power suits mod, but for carts. But in this version of the mod, this older version, the module thing is kind of more emulated. There are set minecarts, and each of them is coded on their own and stuff. But you can still, but they still made quite complex. They're still quite complex and stuff. But there's not as much customizability because each of the carts is set in stone. Wireless Redstone is a mod by Chicken Bones, which includes wireless transmitters and wireless receivers. There's basically heaps of frequencies, and each of the frequencies you can transmit a redstone signal to, and then with a transmitter or with your wireless transmitter that you hold in your hand, or the actual transmitter, the block version, and any wireless receivers, those are blocks, will then receive their signal and output a redstone signal because they've received it. So that's pretty cool. And with the because and his mod has red power compatibility functionality. So if you have red power installed, you can use the red power functionality so that you can actually place his wireless receivers and stuff on walls and on the roofs, and you can rotate them around with the screwdriver. If you don't have red power installed, you can still use this mod, but it won't have the extra red power functionality added in, which I think is pretty cool. Pretty cool functionality there. Pretty cool integration and compatibility there. We're almost at the end. We're almost there. We're at the final stretch. We have additional Buildcraft objects, which is another one of those mods that adds additional things to Buildcraft. Basically spices it up a bit. A lot of miscellaneous, not really themed, but useful things, nevertheless quite useful. Just, really useful stuff that just doesn't, that's just, just been added in. I'll skip that mod there for the moment. I'll go back to that last but not least. And Thaumcraft is a cool mod, a really cool mod. That basically, it's kind of like it's a magic-based mod, but it works a bit differently from Equivalent Exchange. In this version of Thaumcraft that I'm using, in the new version of Thaumcraft, things are quite different. You still have Viz in the environment and Aura, and you have stuff, but everything. In that Thaumcraft, all items have these aspects associated with them. You can throw the aspects into your cauldron to break them down. You can throw these items into the cauldron to break them down into their basic aspects and turn those aspects into essentia. So it's just the essential part of the essential aspect, part of the aspect. Just the aspect on its own. And that's all cool, and there's a whole research thing, which uses an achievement book, and there's a whole research table. This Thaumcraft is a bit different, because it's the previous version. So, in this version, you still have Viz and Aura in the air, but you also have Taint. That's kind of the evil Viz that you're might start producing. Some areas are naturally tainted, most of them aren't, but you eventually, you're going to either be storing taint in tanks, or you're going to be releasing it into the atmosphere. And when taint is released into the atmosphere, bad things can start to happen. And also, if you start storing them in tanks, there's a chance your tanks will break if you have too much flux in them. They'll just randomly explode, and then the flux will get released into the atmosphere anyway. And so, yeah, that's not really good, is it? Viz is kind of a generic, just all-around currency kind of thing in there. It's not the same system as Equivalent Exchange, and there are in fact ways to abuse the discrepancies between Thaumcraft and Equivalent Exchange for extra items, or indeed just ways to just optimize the conversion between items. For example, glass is worth more than cobblestone in Thaumcraft. You can use like a few bits of glass to make it. Well, I don't think it's that extreme, but it's quite different. Okay, it's a pretty cool mod though, and there is research, but the research isn't the same as it is in Thaumcraft 3. It is kind of half automatic, half manual. The research is more generic. Because items don't have individual aspects, you kind of just research from 4 different tiers of items. You have you have lost knowledge, forbidden knowledge, tainted knowledge, and eldritch knowledge. So yeah, and that's basically Thaumcraft 2. There's a lot. It's a really cool mod. There's a lot more to it than what I've told you probably, but yeah, it's the basics. And finally, I have the ID resolver mod, because with all these mods installed, there's going to be some there's a high chance of ID conflict somewhere along the line. And so what this ID resolver mod does is it automatically moves around the IDs, so that they don't conflict with each other, which is pretty cool. It doesn't actually change the ID settings in the actual mod files though. Especially because that would be really weird. It would be really hard for the mod developer to actually code to actually code his program to actually go in and edit config files, especially since some mods just don't have config files like that. It's just their item IDs are the same by default. What this does is kind of swaps around the IDs on load up, and then it keeps a memory of what what IDs need to be swapped to what other IDs and of what you know. Hi guys, my name is James Ryan. I'm here to play for you technically modded Minecraft, I guess. I'm just talking about ID Resolver. Basically, what it does is it on load up, it moves around the mods, the item IDs to where they're supposed to go as according to what it has in its memory, and so that's pretty cool. The only problem with this, of course, like if you like then move this map to another client, if you move this map to another, Minecraft file folder with the exact same mods installed, in fact, just the exact same thing, except for one thing: you haven't loaded up this client um, so that the ID resolver, uh, so that the ID resolver hasn't got a memory yet. It might load it up differently, especially if you load it up from a different place. It might load up. You might decide on a different way to make these IDs compatible with each other, and so that would result in problems when you finally load up your world, because some items could change around or become corrupted or become those little one of those invisible blocks that when you click on or try to destroy crashes your game. So yeah, that was a nice 3-part introduction to what you can expect. See ya. Bye.